essentialoilsynergy.ca, and we're here tonight to go over some uses of essential oils. And I know I use essential oils quite a bit, and I hope you are going to start using them too. And tonight we're going to just go over some ways we can use essential oils in our everyday life to reduce our toxic load, make ourselves feel better, and we're going to get started right now. So, once again, I'm just going to share my screen here with you. So, just bear with me right now while I'm going to go share the screen. Okay, while I just get going here. Here we go, right here. And I want to see how I share my screen. I'm just trying to figure out how to share my screen. Here we go, screen share. Very easy button. That's what we're going to do right there. Share. So here we go. We're going to do a bit of a slideshow. So here's we go with some essential oils. So we're going to be talking about essential oils tonight. And if you're just joining us here right now, my name is Laura Kelland-May from essentialoilsynergy.ca. And I invite you to go and look at that website because there's some interesting things there. You can sign up for the newsletter right on the top of the page. And at the end of the show here, we're going to go over there. And so you can see exactly what it looks like. Just put your email in and your name, and you get updates. And actually, if you put your name right in there, you can download a recipe book, and it's got some really interesting, easy to follow recipes that you can use right now, today, with some essential oils to help you on your way to understand how to use essential oils. So right here, this is one of my horses here that we have at the stable. And I just want to let you know that the information on this site and what we're talking about today is intended for educational purposes only. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a educated medical professional. And this is not meant to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease or replace any treatments from a medical professional whatsoever. So you can use this information. You don't have to use it. You can use it at your own risk. And this is a picture of one of the horses we have at our place here and one of my students. And I use essential oils every day, and I use them just because I know that they're good for me. I know they're good for the horses. I use them with the horses. And when we have babysitting, pet sitting, our friends, our neighbors' pets, we also use them on that. So we're going to just step right in here. So tonight we're going to discover the secrets about essential oils. And you know, when you think of essential oils, what you usually think of is the scent and the smell, but really the power of essential oils is hidden in their chemical composition. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to be discussing a few things. So, what we're going to be talking about is how you can benefit from using essential oils. And there's many different benefits. We're just going to be able to touch on a few things and what happens if you don't use quality essential oils? Because there's different types of oils. So we're going to be discussing a little bit tonight about the different types of oils and what happens if you don't use a good quality oils? Because you can buy oils at Walmart, you can buy oils at the grocery store, you can buy them at the dollar store, you can buy them all at different places, but you have to be careful about the quality. And we're going to touch on a little bit of the quality issue tonight. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat bar. We'll take a little break a little bit later on. So I'll answer some questions and review some of the things that you're talking about in the chat. Also, if you have your own website and you want us to follow you, I will be reviewing the chat feeds. And so I encourage you to put your Twitter handle in there, your Facebook group or page if you have one of those as well. And we're going to put in our as well on there. Put your website URL in the chat, and we'll all go in there and visit with each other. My Twitter handle is twitter.com/LKelland-May. That's me. And I'd be happy to hear from you on Twitter, also on Facebook, and Instagram, all those social media channels. We like to get to know each other a little bit there. So, I want to also cover this evening a little bit about how easy essential oils are to use. And by easy, I mean you can open up your cupboard, open up the bottle of essential oils, use it immediately. There's no prescription required, there's no traveling to the doctor. And once you understand and know how to use essential oils, you can just take them out, use them as you would like to use them. We're going to talk a little bit about that and how easy they are to use in your daily life. And also, we're going to touch on how you can start right now using essential oils. And before the end of the show here tonight, I'm going to be able to let you know how you can get your own essential oils and be a part of the team that's involved here. Once again, I would like to invite you to go to essentialoilsynergy.ca, not .com.ca, and put your name in the name and email in the form there so that you can download the book. It's a simple recipe book using essential oils, and you can get it right there on the site. So what that does is you put your name and your email address right in that form, press submit right there, and it'll take you to another page where you can just download the recipe book. So we're going to talk about what is an essential oil. Essential oils are made up of the leaves, the plant material from the leaves, roots, stems, bark, flowers, and fruit of plants. So, what they do is they gather up the plant material, depending on which plant it is. They use certain parts of the plant. For example, for rose oil, they use the rose petals. For other plants, they use the roots. For some plants, they use the entire plant. So, juniper berry, they use just the fruit of it. So, it depends on what oil it is. They use a specific part of that plant. They gather the plant at the specific time of harvest where it has the best chemical composition, and they distill it out over steam and then condense it so the oil is collected. So essential oils are made from the roots, stem, bark, leaves, flowers, and fruit of plants. And it's harvested at the premium time to get the maximum and the best material from it. And you can see on these two pictures here, on the left hand side, we have a picture of a peppermint plant. And if you've ever seen a peppermint plant out in the garden, and you've taken that peppermint leaf and you've picked that peppermint leaf and you've crushed it between your fingers, you can feel and you can smell the peppermint oil. And what you see in the right hand picture is those gray balloons, those gray blobs, that's the peppermint oil. And when you crush that leaf between your fingers, that releases the oil from that protective bubble that it's in, and that's why you get the smell of the peppermint oil. So that's what distilling it does, and that's how essential oils are made. Those little droplets of oil are all collected together and make an essential oil. Now, just so you know, herbs are great. Herbs are good. So peppermint tea is wonderful. Oregano is wonderful. But the oil is about 50 to 70 times more powerful than the herb. So if you're making spaghetti sauce, for example, and you want to put a teaspoon of oregano in your spaghetti sauce, great. That will give you the flavor. But if you want to use an essential oil, and you can use essential oil in cooking, you can use a drop, one drop of oregano oil will be about an equivalent of a teaspoon of oil, of herb. So keep that in mind if you're ever cooking with oils, peppermint oil, oregano oil, or essential oils. The essential oil is about 50 to 70 times more powerful than the herbs. And the powerful and the benefits are so safe from them because there's little or no side effects because our bodies understand what it is that these things are. They're not chemicals. They are part of the they are made by the earth and are used to they've been used for centuries. Now just excuse me here for a minute. I'm just going to take a drink of water. Already my mouth's getting dry. Just start getting started. So essential oils are non-toxic, generally non-toxic. There are some oils that you have to be careful about, and there are some oils from poisonous plants that you want to stay away from. So they are generally non-toxic and made from natural products, and that is quite different from things that are made from synthetics made in a laboratory. Essential oils are easy to use. They come in a format that's easy to use. They come in a liquid format. And when you think of oil, they're not really that oily. They're not oil like an olive oil that you would think of. It's more of a generally slightly oily tinge to it. They're not really oily like you would think of corn oil or olive oil. It's more like a water consistency. Some oils are a little bit thicker, a little bit, and some oils are a little bit more runny. So you have to understand which oils are which. Essential oils are perfect for home use. They're made great for homemade home remedies for first aid type situation and also as a preventative measure. If you supply your body with the nutrients that it needs and with the things that it needs, it's less likely to um, to get sick. They're safe and easy to use. They're readily available, and you know what? They smell good too. So we're going to talk about different types of essential oils and different grades of essential oils, but I'm just going to escape from this and check to see if there's anybody on the chat so that we can see if there's anybody on the chat here. I'm just moving away to my computer to see if there's anybody on the chat. And I'm checking the chat. There's nobody on the chat, and I'm going to put my CA. Okay, so I'm just putting my okay, so I'm going to go back. Going to go back now to my screen sharing and get back to here. I don't know what I just did there now. That's so cool. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my screen sharing. So there are four main types of essential oils. Number one is synthetic oils, and these are the ones that are made in the laboratory, made in a pharmaceutical company, made in some shop somewhere. And these are the oils that you are going to find that are fragrance oils found in shampoo, hand sanitizers, and soaps. These are the ones that are just giving off the scent of something. You can usually tell because they're peach scented, watermelon scented, and apple flavor scented. And these really aren't essential oils, but rather chemicals made up to look like and smell like the fruit that they're trying to imitate. So they're imitation, they're not real essential oils. These are imitation oils and they're synthetic. And this is one reason why hospital, schools, and offices do not permit synthetic fragrances excessive smells in the office is because they are synthetic. Our body doesn't understand how to take them into our bodies and what to do with them. So it's some sort of foreign object, some sort of something foreign coming into our body, and our body has a reaction to it. So you have to make sure that you understand that synthetic smells, scents, and perfumes are not essential oils, and they are synthetic. Our body doesn't really understand what they're for. Then the second one is the green one, and that is the food grade oils. And these are the ones that you would get in food things such as lemon pie filling, cinnamon flavored gum, and that type of thing. So those are the two that I can think right off the top of my head. They are food grade, made in mass markets for the food consumption. Then there's the little thin wedge called therapeutic grade, and these are the real essential oils that are sold in the 15 milliliter bottles that are actually made from plant material, and they have the therapeutic benefit of that plant. So if you know that there's tea tree melaleuca in that essential oil, then there's some therapeutic value of that oil. And then you have lavender. If there's a lavender essential oil, then you know that that therapeutic has some therapeutic value for you and your body, as opposed to a food grade lavender or a synthetic lavender smell. Those are made in a lab somewhere and really don't have much therapeutic value for you, actually, none. Then there's the very thin edge of the wedge, which is that certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils. And these are oils that are manufactured in an organic state to for 100% organic with no synthetics and no additives added to the essential oil. And these are the highest grade oils that you can get. They are not watered down, and they are free of contaminants, and you know where they're coming from. So out of all these things, you have the synthetic, which is the majority of what you see on the market. You have the food grade, which is in the food that we eat, flavoring for food that we eat. There's therapeutic grade, the ones that you get at the health food store. And then there's the certified pure therapeutic grade oils. So the certified pure therapeutic grade oils are uh, manufactured by a company called doTERRA, and they guarantee that it's beyond organic. It's verified pure, and it's free of any contaminant and any pesticides and any foreign material. So if you have an oil, if you go to Walmart and says you can buy an oil at Walmart, you are not purchasing a pure grade essential oil. It is more than likely watered down, quote unquote, and have other synthetic materials in there that to help thin it out so that you can buy a cheap bottle of smelly oils. It's added with other oils that smell similar to the oil that you're buying. I'm going to use for an example lavender because that's a very popular one and it often gets adulterated. That you can buy a pure bottle of lavender essential oil, let's say for $20, which is about an average price, but you can go to Walmart and get it for $5. Which one do you think is going to have pure lavender in it? And which one do you think is going to be thinned out and synthetics add to it to make it stretch out a little bit more? So you want to make sure that you do get therapeutic grade and certified pure therapeutic grade oils to know that the lavender you're getting this week is going to be the same as the lavender you're getting next week. It's from the same supplier. It's been tested. It's been third party tested to make sure that there's consistency in it as well. So the other thing about getting certified pure therapeutic grade oils is that they are certified and they do go through rigorous testing because sometimes when you get oils, they come off a um, a marketplace where buyers who make essential oils can go to the bulk market and one time buy lavender to make their essential oils. They can buy it one time, they can buy it from France, and then the next time the supplier from France doesn't have any more essential oils, so it goes to um, I don't know, Morocco, or no, I don't guess lavender probably doesn't grow in Morocco. Let's say Scotland, or let's say central US, where they have lavender farms. And those will be different types of lavender. They may be still be lavender, but the qualities of the lavender will be totally different because of the where the plant has grown. So you have to make sure that it's consistent. I'm just going to take another drink of water here. Because if you buy a plant from lavender plant from France, it's grown in a certain soil type, it's grown in a certain climate, it's grown at a certain altitude, it's grown in a specific way and harvested at a specific time, and you get a good quality yield of lavender. If, on the other hand, the person who's making the lavender doesn't want to spend the money to get that good quality, that person who's making the lavender may go elsewhere, let's say to Central North America, um, center where there's a lavender farm. They may get lavender from Iowa, let's say. The season is different. This soil type is different. It may be a different type of plant, and the person harvesting that lavender plant may harvest it at a different time of year. So you're going to get a different yield. So the lavender you get from Central North America is going to be different than the lavender you get from France. So you have to be aware of where your plant is actually coming from. And that's why it's so important to buy from a reputable dealer so that you know exactly where it's coming from, how it's been harvested, and that they, in fact, test everything when it comes in to make sure that it is exactly within the guidelines of the oil that you bought last month and last year and the year before that, because you want to make sure it has the same properties, so it has the same healing properties as the other lavender that you purchase. If you don't get lavender, I'm just using lavender as an example here, but if you don't get the plant quality each time, you may find that the quality is not the same and you don't get the same effect from that oil. So you'll lose the healing effect of the oil. So that's why it's so important to make sure you have a good quality oil. Now, how can you use essential oils? Now, this is one of our horses here. That's Memphis's nose. I wanted to use a horse's nose because horses have very good sense of smell and they like essential oils a lot. So there's four different ways that you can use essential oils. One, aromatically, topically, internally, and orally. So aromatically, really easy to do. And if I do this all the time, you can just simply take the top off the bottle of oil and smell it. That's aromatically, just smelling it. You can also use a diffuser or put a couple drops in a Kleenex and or a cotton ball or something and keep that with you. But aromatically is just simply smelling the oils. Topically, you can use essential oils on top of your skin. If you have a cut or minor first aid or a burn, you can use some oils directly on your cut or burn. Or if you have a muscle stiffness, you can also use different oils, peppermint oil, black pepper oil, something that's going to be nice and warm and heating on your skin to help warm up your muscles. Camphor's another good one. Eucalyptus is often used as well. That's topically. Excuse me. Internally, you can put oils in a cap and put essential oils in a gel cap, take them internally to help with your internal organs, cleansing, detoxifying, that type of thing. You want to make sure you're using good quality oil so that you can take them internally. Some people say you can't. I'm not sure. It's up to you whether you decide not to. And then orally, I know of people, and I've done this myself, is take a drop of frankincense and put it directly under my tongue just to help with um, frankincense is a really good cleanser and a good health tonic. So you can just put a drop in your mouth. And also another thing that's coming on strong is called oil pulling. Check that on Google, oil pulling, and you will understand that you can put oils in your mouth and it'll draw out the things you need from it. Now, how can essential oils benefit me? Now, before we go into this, I'm just going to check again to see if there's anybody in the chat. I'm just looking to see if there's anybody in the chat. I don't see anybody. That's what we are. Excellent. Going to go back here to the sharing. Going to take another drink of water. And once again, if you'd like to get some more information about essential oils, I invite you to go to essentialoilsynergy.ca and put your name in the form at the top there so you can download your free recipe book. It's got some really good recipes and uh, just some fun stuff that you can do, really easy things that you can do to get started on your essential oil journey. So, how can essential oils benefit me? So, physically, you can apply it directly to minor first aid things. For example, today it's cold here. We have a wood stove, and I was putting some wood in the wood stove, and I touched my hand to a hot part of the wood stove, and I burned my hand. So immediately put it under hot water, pardon me, put it under cold water to get the heat out of it, dried it off, and I put a couple drops of lavender on it. And the lavender just takes away the burn. Lavender is known for helping burns. And if you get a burn, whether it's a sunburn or a burn from a wood stove or a campfire, that lavender, if you just put a drop on there, it soothes a burn immediately. It's a really good one. So that's a physical or topical way you can do it. Supports wound care. It helps to promote relaxation, and it can helps with inflammation or itchy skin. So all those types of things. If you have a rash, poison ivy, mosquito bites, you can use essential oils for those types of things. Emotionally, essential oils are great to provide emotional support, to help with anxiety, to help you have the feelings of being calm. For example, again, lavender is one of my go to things. If I'm feeling unable to sleep, I often put a dab of lavender on my neck, just below my ears, and that helped me get to sleep. The smell of that helps to relax me, and it just helps me keep calm. And I do know that friends of mine, they also use lavender. And interestingly enough, if you apply lavender to the bottom of your big toe, that also helps you get to sleep. It helps relax and calm. Apparently, the bottom of your big toe is a reflexology point for your brain. And if you put lavender on there, that helps to calm you, relax you, and help you get to sleep. So that's a little tip that you can use about sleeping conditionally. So this is kind of an interesting thing. It's really how smell can trigger a response. So it's, for example, when you smell bread baking in the oven, you may think of your mother or your grandmother, or if you smell a certain perfume. And for example, if you smell a cinnamon bun, that kind of makes you salivate and that you're thinking, oh, gee, I really like the smell of that food. And that's a conditioned response. It's the Pavlov's thing. So you smell something good, you want to take part in that, and it triggers a response from you. So you can use that, and we use that quite a bit with horses, the conditioned response. So you can use lavender again. For example, if you're taking a horse on a horse trailer, you want to get them relaxed. You can leave them a little bit of lavender in a relaxed situation that's stable. So when they're getting fed, you give them a little bit smell lavender. You each time you put them in the stable, you give them some grain, you smell lavender. Each time you put them in the stable, you give them grain. You give them a smell of lavender so they associate something good with the smell of lavender. Then, when you want to put them on a trailer, a horse trailer, which can be a little bit cause a bit of anxiety for a horse, you let them smell the lavender, which is going to calm them down anyway, but they associate and have a conditioned response to the smell to something good being fed in the stable, and that helps with your training as well. So that's the conditionally. And then spiritually, oftentimes, if you have a loss of a friend, you can use essential oils to help you bridge that gap between you and the loss of your friend. So, essential oils are also good for other uses. For example, insect repellent. There are some oils that the insects do not like. Eucalyptus, they don't like it because it's very stings their sensitive parts. Peppermint's another good one. And doTERRA also has an insect repellent blend that has quite good against mosquitoes and gnats and those little flies that bother you in the spring and summertime. You can also use essential oils as a natural cleaner. Lemon is good. You use lemon, it strips the grease off. You have to be careful with lemon because it does also strip off the coating of your furniture. So you have to be a bit careful about that as well. So it importance of using natural cleaners to help reduce your toxic load on your own body in your house. We have all these caustic chemicals around us, and if you don't be careful about it, those caustic chemicals just build up in our own body and can cause some damage to ourselves and to the environment. So you can use easy to find things from your grocery store and even from your own cupboard. Lemon essential oil, uh, or oregano essential oil, melaleuca, tea tree oil. You can use those things with baking soda to help to be a scrubber, and cornstarch to help absorb smells. It's amazing some of the things you can do. Salt, those types of stuff. And also, you can use essential oils in shampoo to help with dandruff, any skin irritations, general health care. And once again, I'd like to invite you to go to essentialoilsynergy.ca, and you can get um, a recipe book, I'm going to call it. Download if you put your name and email in the form at the top of the page. You can download it, take you to a place where you can download a great recipe book. Just taking a drink of water there. So here is me. I'm a certified animal aromatherapist, and this is a picture of me using some essential oils with one of the livestock that where I was giving the course. So this is a bull, and he was enjoying some peppermint. So, how easy are essential oils to use? Well, let me tell you how easy they are to use. They are so easy. You can just use a few drops. 1, 2 drops can help most ailments that you have. You may have to reapply a couple, one couple times in the morning, one time in the evening, but you don't have to worry about toxicity. Unlike if you use different gave her 10 drops of an oil called helichrysum oil. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. And it was her finger was split open, and she put a couple drops on it for 3 days, and her finger healed in 3 days. This is a finger, it actually knitted the skin back together. It was kind of amazing how well it looked after her finger. So, this is something that an oil that I had readily available, gave her a sample, and it helped heal her skin. And also, if you get, I talked a little bit about the burn that I had. I've had people with mosquito bites and put some lavender and peppermint on it. Takes this itch right away. Or massaging into sore muscles. There's all kinds of things you can use like that. So here's some of my favorite oils for minor first aid care. Melaleuca. This is good for as a to keep your skin growing nicely, to keep your skin clean and free of bacteria. It's a great way to promote health of your skin, healthy skin and growth. Lavender is excellent to help promote a calming effect and uplifting. It's such a fresh and pleasant smell. It also is the one that I used on the burns and also helps prevent itchy skin and prevents what's another thing is itchy skin and burns and skin rashes, that type of thing. It helps with that sort of thing. Helichrysum oil is the oil I told you about. My friend, she dropped something on her finger, split her finger wide open, right at the tip of her finger, beside her fingernail. That's the oil I've used on open cuts. I put a couple drops in. It's absolutely amazing how well it works to help heal a cut. Rose oil you can use on anything, anywhere you want to. But rose oil, if you get pure rose oil, it is expensive. And you can look this up. It takes 2,000 pounds of rose petals to make a pound of oil. So I know I keep horses here and I know what a bale of hay looks like. One bale of hay is about 40 pounds. And I'm just thinking of how many roses it takes to make 2,000 pounds of rose petals. Not the plants or the sticks or the woods or the root, but the petals. So if you can get your hand on pure rose oil, it is very, very, very elite. If you can get it, guard it because it's beautiful. Frankincense and chamomile are also very calming oils. Frankincense is known to be one of the biggest cure alls that you can have, and chamomile is also very calm and relaxing for any sort of skin ailment. And you can use these in a base of fractionated coconut oil or aloe vera gel. And when I use aloe vera gel, I use it for the burns. Aloe vera gel is really good for burns and for mosquito bites and sunburn. So if you're using aloe vera gel, I would put aloe vera gel and lavender together, aloe vera gel, lavender, and peppermint together to put on a burn if I burned my hand badly, or a sunburn, or mosquito bites, or black fly bites, or some sort of sting from a bee or hornet or something. That's what I would use for that. Emotional support, lavender, and once again, you can see where we're heading with the lavender is one of my favorite things. You can use it for everything. You can use it on a burn, on a cut, on a mosquito bite. You can also use it for emotional support if you're having a bad day. It helps calms you down. If you're in a traffic jam, it'll help calm you down. If you can't think of something, it'll help it'll help calm you down so you can think of things. You can also make up your own grounding blends to help ground yourself. are different calming blends. And these are, again, if you want to download that book, there's different recipes in there. If you want to get some more information, send me an email at laura at essentialoilsynergy.ca. I'll be happy to help you out with that. If you get a calming blend, you can use frankincense for your calming blend, vetiver for your calming blend, patchouli to help calm you down. And again, lavender is also a good one to help calm you down. These things all work to keep you on evenly and steadily and relaxing type thing. A grounding blend are those oils that are going to help ground you. And once again, it's kind of like a calming blend, but it's just a little bit different if you're doing some meditation work. Pardon me, if you're doing some meditation work, you would want to use those oils that are going to calm you down and ground you. Clary sage, patchouli, lavender, all those kind of base oils that are going to help ground you and promote the meditation. Calming blend are going to be the ones that are going to keep you calm and relaxed. And once again, lavender is going to play a big part in that. Frankincense and chamomile, they are also calming and thinking and keep your brain activity going so that it can get out of its own way and be a more whole type thing. Bergamot is another good calming one. And these are emotional oils. There's many different types of oils, and you can use them in combination to help yourself as well. Other emotional, oh, jeepers, other emotional things are, oh, jeepers, other, I didn't realize I could do this. So here we go. Other emotional oils are vetiver, marjoram, sweet orange, and focus blend called In Tune, and that has patchouli and other different oils in there. And if you want some more information, I'd be happy to share them with you. Just send me your email, and I'd love to hear from you rather than taking up some time here. We're running out of time a little bit, so I want to make sure we get to the end. And to go in more in depth of these oils, I would really like to hear from you about uh, what we can do to help you with. And I would, if you would like to have a one on one session regarding oils, essential oils for yourself or for your pet, even because I am a certified animal aromatherapist, I'd be happy to hear from you. So here's some other uses you can use. You can make a body wash or shampoo. So rather than using a store-bought brand with the chemicals in there and the parabens, the preservatives in there, the sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium lauryl sulfite, all those other things, you can buy a reasonably priced natural shampoo and just put some essential oils in it. The other thing you can do if you want to get the benefit of the essential oils is put a drop or two of essential oils into your own shampoo, keeping in mind, however, that the shampoo that you are using does have chemicals in it. You're still going to get the reaction of the chemicals, but you are going to get some of the benefits of the essential oils when you use essential oils. So what I do is I buy a base of natural shampoo base. So go to the health food store, get a natural shampoo base, and then put my own essential oils in, as well as glycerin and some other additives in there that I put in, witch hazel, that type of thing. And I use my own essential oils. I find my hair just works just well. You can use essential oils in for a relaxing bath. Put a couple drops of lavender, peppermint, orange, wild orange, and vetiver, frankincense in the Epsom salts. Let it soak in. Put the half a cup of Epsom salts in your bath water, and you'll have a nice, relaxing bath. You can use a soothing blend. You can use lemongrass and lavender to help relax your tendons for a massage. You can use it for a fly repellent and also tick repellent. Here are some more uses for your pets. Lavender you can use for calming. And melaleuca you can use for minor first aid. If you have horses, you can use melaleuca, put some in Epsom salts, put it in a pail of water and soak your horse's foot. If your horse has an abscess in his foot or thrush in its foot, you could put some melaleuca directly on the thrush to help it out. Or if your horse has an abscess, you can soak your horse's foot with Epsom salts and melaleuca in it, and it'll help draw out the infection and prevent it from getting worse. You can use lemon around your house for cleaning, and other citrus oils are great cleaners. And if you hate the smell of those whiteboard cleaners that smell like barf, you can use lemon oil mixed with a bit of water in a spritzer bottle, spritz that on, and it cleans out a whiteboard off really well. And of course, you can use them for cooking. Here's some ideas for flies and fly repellent. It's hard to think about flies and fly repellent right now for me because it's supposed to be very cold this weekend. Lavender, peppermint, and the repellent blend from doTERRA, as well as cedarwood. I've had some good luck with these oils, particularly lavender, peppermint. I think I use it for everything. Here's a good little recipe for mosquitoes. One thing I like about using my own natural repellent is that I don't have to worry about the repellent hurting my skin or causing toxic or spraying chemicals on my skin or the DDT or the anything that's in those repellents. I can use essential oils and water and know I smell pretty good or pretty bad as far as the flies goes, mosquitoes goes, and I'm not hurting myself. I'm not hurting my skin. I'm not hurting my lungs by breathing it in. I'm not hurting anybody else. I know that it's safe to use. If the mosquitoes come, I just reapply again. So it says 20 drops lavender, 20 drops peppermint, 20 drops repellent blend, and put it in a little bottle with some water, shake it up, and spray. Away you go. So here's the top oils. Just taking a drink of water. Lavender, melaleuca, chamomile, frankincense, geranium, helichrysum, peppermint, vetiver, marjoram, and sweet orange. Now, this is my horse here, and I put a bottle of Balance on the stable door there. I use that quite a bit with the horses. Balance is a grounding blend. It just helps even out temperaments. And if they're having a bad day, it just kind of evens them out, gets them thinking about themselves a little bit more. And when you use essential oils, it's not something that goes, wow, I feel fantastic. It's just more of a, yeah, something's a little different. I feel a little bit different. I feel a little bit better. Something's changed and I feel good. It's something that you have to kind of look for and understand and feel that there's a slight little change going on. It's not going to come up and slap you across the face and say, yeah, I feel great. It's something like, oh, yeah, I feel kind of a little different today. And I think it's the essential oils. So, if you found this information interesting and helpful, I'd love to hear from you. I'd like to talk with you one on one so that we can work together and help each other out with using essential oils. I could give you some more ideas. Send me an email, Laura at essentialoilsynergy.ca. I'd love to hear from you. Or you can send me an email. That's my other email address, lkelland-may at live.ca. So I'm just going to check the thing here again. Let's see what's going on. Stop the screen sharing. Stop sharing. There we go. So I'd like to thank you very much for stopping by today and taking your time out of your day to come and visit with me. And I hope to hear from you soon. My name is Laura Kelland-May from essentialoilsynergy.ca. Thanks very much. See you later. Bye bye.